Someone had some interesting things to say about Roman Reigns this week, and that someone was the former best in the world, CM Punk. He came out this week and he said about Roman Reigns, and I quote, his character, his in-ring stuff, it's all great, but I feel like classic WWE, they're 5 to 10 years late. This is something that
Absolutely.
this is something that they should have done organically or originally because they tried so hard to get this guy over as a babyface and they gave him an X amount of WrestleMania main events. Like, this guy is the guy. This is the guy, and he really never had moments until now. That was CM Punk on Roman Reigns. So there's two big takeaways. One, thank you, CM Punk, for acknowledging the tribal chief, Roman Reigns. Secondly, I think he said something that everyone's been saying for a long time, which is that they are 5 years late, basically, with Roman Reigns. Because one thing that people get wrong, that Roman Reigns stands get wrong about people booing Roman Reigns or not liking Roman Reigns, was it wasn't the fact that people hated Roman Reigns. They just hated the gimmick because he didn't have one. He was just, I'm here and I'm gonna like it was bland. He was cutting these bland promos. He wasn't interesting. We weren't invested. Like, everyone knew, like, Roman Reigns was a badass. People loved him in the Shield. He was just going out there and having great matches, kicking people's ass. And that's great. And that is amazing. But people weren't invested in him until now because he's showing something that he hasn't shown before. This mean streak, this thing that makes people interested. The tribal chief is getting him over and has gotten him over. People cheer Roman Reigns. I promise you, Roman Reigns is going to be arguably the most over guy in WWE when fans return. But
absolutely.
Yeah. But absolutely. What do you make, Trevor, what do you make of CM Punk's comments and everything he said? Because I think he's spot on.
I think he's absolutely right. I feel like you said, when he was in the Shield, I feel like he was over, he was good. But I also felt like for a long time, like, and this is how I felt like the beginning of Cena. I felt like he was force fed. They force fed us Roman Reigns for a while, because they said, okay, he's over as a Shield. Let's make him a singles competitor and make him even more over. At that point, he was more annoying than anything else, and so you're pushing him on us. Like, you're changing our narrative of him originally, and now we have this so-called face, this so-called menacing face, and menacing faces don't really last very long. You know what I mean? Like, they're either like ride the fence, or they're just a heel. And he never really rode the fence. They kept pushing him as this face, and he was never really truly a face. Like, now what he is a heel who is completely over, and the fans love him. They cheer for him, whatever, no matter what. And I think that's what Roman Reigns should have been. And luckily they still have had a shelf life of him, so they did it now. But, like, they should have been done it. This could have been his career from the get-go.
They could have saved so much money about not having Brock Lesnar on the roster,
right?
Like, because they have one, they have him right there. You want we'll talk about it, right? And I think that the one thing that people have been ignoring for a long time is the fact that Roman Reigns, like, for all of the faults of his character, Roman Reigns in the ring is, like, he was great. He never had bad matches, and but the thing is, that's never what it was about. It was about the fact that we knew he was being force fed down our throats, and it wasn't entertaining. It was not interesting or entertaining because we had no reason to be invested in this guy. And WWE got mad. Like, apparently there were reports back in the day when remember when Reigns and Ambrose had their title match, Survivor Series 2015. That was Roman Reigns' first time winning the belt. That was his first time winning the belt. Everyone in that arena booed him because, you know why? Because everyone was invested in Dean Ambrose. Because Ambrose was on Raw cutting promos for a year. And he was this interesting character who had Hell in a Cell matches with Seth Rollins, just beat up Seth Rollins. He had something that we were interested in, we wanted to see. And we just never got that from Roman Reigns until they put him with Paul Heyman, until he turned heel, until he became the tribal chief. And now we must acknowledge him.
Yes.
Challenge him. Challenge him.
It's challenge day.
Yeah.
Like it's one of those it's just one of those things. Like you said, Ambrose has been over since Ambrose was a single competitor. Like I've heard people make the comparison of him in then this particular wrestler, and I can see it. Like a lot of people compare him to the likes of Roddy Piper, and he just really just said whatever he wanted to say. He was a complete asshole, a complete nut job, and like that's Roddy in a box. That was Roddy, and Dean Ambrose had that.
Roddy in the box.
Roddy in the box. But that's what Ambrose has, still has. But Reigns never truly had that. Like he
Right.
had good mic skills, but they didn't know what to do with them. They didn't know how to use it. They didn't know how to package it until now. And what you have now is what he should have been all the time.
Acknowledge me is such a better line than suffer and succotash. That's all I will say.
Suffering succotash.
Suffer and succotash, son. Like,
I don't know.
how is that supposed to get over? Like, thanks for watching this video from Real Take Sports Talk. Remember to like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you get notified whenever a new video is released. Also, remember to check out our live show every single Thursday at 8 p.m. right here on the YouTube channel. And remember, keep it real.